what scripture did you have? You was getting ready to give it to me.
Nah, which one about how he wrote out on?
Whatever you was getting ready to read.
Nah, we was about to read it. Say, before certain men came from James. Nah, I said when Peter came, before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles. But when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles because he was afraid of those who belonged to the circumcision group. And that's James' group.
So it was James, Cephas, and John.
James, Peter, and John.
Yeah.
Who was Cephas?
Cephas is Peter.
Other names for Peter.
But how? Then this is my question. Then, if he's, how can they be false brothers when in verse 9 he calls them pillars?
That's what I was worried.
It said who seemed to be.
No, verse 9 says, when James, Cephas, and John recognize as pillars, acknowledge the grace that had been given to me. If they recognize as pillars of Christianity, what's upholding it? He's not going to call a pillar a false brother.
No, watch this.
Right here,
It said, hold it. You go ahead.
it say, and when James, Cephas, and John, who
Seem to be pillars. He's not calling them that. Your translation is seem.
Okay, I can take that one.
He's not saying that they're pillars.
And if you jump down
He
to
said they
13,
look like it. That's false. That's why he's identifying them as false, because they are appearing to be
Gotcha.
real. So that's why he named the three of them false, because they appear to be.
Mom,
Gotcha.
Mom,
Gotcha.
take it back off that. And then verse 13.
Reggie ready, y'all. Come on.
I got my stuff.
Go ahead.
It said the other Jews joined him in his hypocrisy, so that by their hypocrisy even Barnabas was led astray.
See,
But that's it, cool.
it's
Right.
right, and you gotta. That's why you gotta really read, because like you said, somebody will read that and would think they were not false, that they were
Right.
really a part of, but they just seem. That's why he called them false. Okay. Woo!
That's a good one.
It was. That's a fact right there. I'm trying to
We
tell
need
you.
more joints like that. We need those.
All right. But that's a perfect example of how people misinterpret the word. That's a perfect example. All right, where we at? Number 4? No, we already answered that really. Number 5, when Peter visited Antioch, who do you feel was considered the human leader of the Christian church?
I think it was Peter.
Boy said when Peter visited. You so
No, we ain't know that one. We put for that jump. I said Paul. He said Peter.
how he gonna put Peter? Ain't talking about Peter. What y'all got? What you got, Jasmine? Where you finding that, Jasmine?
In that thing, in verse.
No, you know right where. She's coming for some right. Right, show me.
Two 11.
2:11.
11. Oh, you put verses.
Number 6 is good. You got it here, Jazz? Jazz? All right, I'll come back when you find it. Number 6, what do you feel the reaction would be today in your church or denomination if someone accused a leader of hypocrisy? Whose side would most be taken? Wow. Will the reaction be different in if the accusation were true? Explain. And we're going to give 2 examples. We'll give 2 examples here, and we'll give an example about there, because this is different.
We just related it to out
Yeah,
there.
it's out there. So we're going to give 2. All right, which I got out there first?
Out there, I think people would choose the leader side. The leader side, because they can see what that leader.
You think? You think?
Yeah.
Okay, which y'all got?
That's just like the Bible be falling in the church and they still staying there.
They still stay. The majority stay.
The majority do.
I went to, at the old church I went to, there was 2 people fighting for one spot, and then when one person left, half left with them, and then the other half. It depends on who they think was good.
Right.
They could be switching pastors and the body still stay. They don't care.
Oh, but what you got, cause you did it, what you did?
Not even them.
No, you did the act. He's like, no, I didn't do that one. It's like, oh, but what's the deal?
I just put that they will stay with it, because
What do you feel the reaction would be today in the church or denomination if someone accused a leader of hypocrisy?
what if the people would do?
If somebody accused Pastor Tyrone of doing something, what would you do? You would stay.
No,
Yes, you would.
I know what I would do. Back then or now?
Back then.
Yeah, back then, I probably would stay.
They did.
Even in the exception.
Now, it says, would the reaction be different if the accusation was true?
If it was true, it'd be different.
Right, it said,
But no, because they find out the seed.
so you all believe that if a pastor was caught in something and it came up true, that the church would stay?
Some people would,
No.
some people roll.
The Lord stay.
They
They
got
they say-
that loyalty. That loyalty to the pastor, man.
Hear ye, hear ye.
You need a game?
Like, God, you
Wow.
know, bro.
Yeah.
They got the loyalty to the pastor. Remember, they about the pastor. They don't care about God.
But he said if it's true. How many churches have you all have seen that came out true and they left and the church failed?
Oh, I've seen a few.
Yeah.
That's a good
The
question.
church didn't
How
stay.
you know if it's true?
Exactly.
That's a good question.
But okay, let's take this jump right
Because the
now.
pastors of common sense ain't gonna tell the truth anyway.
Right. Let's take this jump right now. They're dealing with it in Atlanta. Okay. Right now, watch this. We won't name him name, but he's coming out of it by settling out of court. So he ain't saying yay or nay. He's settling out of court.
To me, they say like, oh, that's
He's settling. He's smart.
So many amendments.
Right. He got the money.
That's what I was church
But that's okay. Jarrell brought a point.
What he said?
Jarrell got a point. He said that will be to keep the people, but then that's a quick way to show me that you won't tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
They
still gonna
still
say no because he didn't say yes.
They're not concerned with that. They was like saying like the people nowadays are so, it's like it's hard to find a spiritual or real saved person. So they have to, them are doing what the pastor's doing anyway, so they agree with them. So a lot of them are going to stay because they're still in agreement with them. So they're wronging themselves as well as him. So they're gonna stay. They said the majority of them are gonna stay because half of the churches don't have any real sanctified people.
So let's flip the question, should you stay? If this pastor prayed with you, helped you, seen you out of your situation, you know this is what they preach to you. You know they tell you that. I helped you, I prayed with you, I stayed with me. And now I failed, now you can't roll with me. What would you do? What would you do? That's a tough one right there, because you got to think about it. Jazz?
Isn't an example of that with Carlton Pearson when they declared him a heretic and most of his congregation left him hanging?
Yeah, but what he did was completely, he switched to a whole nother religion. Yeah, he is some type of, and one thing I love about him, he sit there and he tell them, pray for me, yeah, y'all continue to pray for me and see if something happens. Yeah, so, and he just feels like, they feel like Christians are the worst person, like, he believes that they know what? He's like, feel like Christians are the most condemning people, like, if we fall, it's, he's a part of the, he is a part of the apostasy that has come to pass. Yeah, so that's what yeah. I don't know, it's kind of deep, but when you get into, you think about the loyalty and, you know, it's that loyalty, like, man, my pastor was dead, my pastor fed me, I used to live with my pastor, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. Look at your ray. He's like, I don't know, dog. I don't know, that's rough. Yes, that's rough.
Can we talk about,
Nah.
like, all right, let's look at somebody like David.
Stop. I heard you.
Yo! But can we look at somebody
I
like
need my
David?
skirt in front of